pulled out the snake for, I think, pretty much the whole set. I don't think he switched off of it, right?
Yeah, I don't believe so in that one. So maybe we'll see some adaptation there. But here, we are going to get into winners finals first, MPG versus Zomba. So this is an interesting set. Zomba, the one seed of this tournament, ranked top 10 in the world. Everybody knows who he is. However, MPG, the last 2 times they played, I believe, did beat him, or at least at a big tournament like this, beat him twice at King of the Ville in order to win the tournament. So this is going to be a very interesting set coming through here as MPG almost dies.
Very glad he held on to his jump there. And I think that's something curious to note here, right? And I talked about this a little bit earlier in the evening. Zomba playing Rob, character that MPG's probably thought thousands of times. But MPG playing the Mega Man,
yep.
You really don't get that much Mega Man experience. Now, I'm assuming these two players have at least fought each other a bit. There's probably some data going back and forth considering they're so close geographically.
Yep.
But you're going to be fighting a bit of an uphill knowledge battle against something like a Mega Man, especially when it's played by someone as technically gifted as MPG.
Yeah, I think really the big difference that we're going to see coming in here on the side of MPG is that him, I feel like, you know, along with Peeb not really being the top 2 Mega Mans in the world right now, their movement, particularly in terms of being able to evade their opponent in neutral, is just on another level. You never realize just how fast Mega Man can move and quite how high his full hop is. You're going to see a lot of those trying to, as Peebnut would say, dodge max versus Zomba. Especially, it's going to be really important in this set because Zomba's punish game is so incredible. If he sees a little bit of doubt, a little bit of fear in you, he will snuff it out and he will destroy you.
That's why I'm kind of impressed. MPG already living all the way to 171%. Zomba just not finding a good way to seal out the stock. Double up air.
And that's
going to carry him right up.
Wow, that was so impressive from MPG, being able to slide underneath Zomba to get the first landing up air, and that's going to be able to convert from the stock. And I think another interesting thing, you never realize how much damage Mega Man does just off these stray hits. Like, even in the start of this game, Zomba got that big combo. Immediately, MPG took 2 stray hits, and they were right back to even.
Well,
so
it adds up so quickly.
Yeah, Zomba is going to need to be really textbook, going to need to be really practiced in terms of how much he gets off these neutral interactions, because MPG is just a consistent force, and if you don't have enough to go into that, you're going to fall behind, as we see now Zomba here at 70% on his second stock, while MPG has still not lost his first.
There it is.
Commentator's curse.
Well, Fader, I think you're pretty right here. The way that Zomba's playing is it seems like he's trying to find those big combo starters against MPG, but MPG's just not letting him do it, right? He's playing from angles that are really stopping a lot of these nairs from coming through, even the grabs, per se. And so it's these pellets that are putting a stop to a lot of the way Zomba likes to play as well, right? Jump in your face, charge gyro, and start combos that way. It's hard to play against it. Now, doing well so far.
I also really like these diagonal down metal blades from MPG on the platforms to stop Zomba from full hopping and get into the nair range that he wants to. Because part of the issue of Mega Man is that even though he has all of these great projectiles, they're pretty low priority. And so if you're able to put out big hitboxes like a Rob Nair, you kind of just box through things. But MPG, very aware of where Zomba wants to be and just saying, I'm not going to play that situation to begin with.
It's just such an incredibly close game between these two players. We had the first stock starting out incredibly close. Second stock now looking like it's going to go the same way here, Casey. Punch to the ledge, but it's sent a little bit too far. Zomba just not able to seal out these stocks, but MPG is struggling here too.
I think he used his up B earlier in that situation, didn't realize that he couldn't use it again there, and MPG is going to fall. And I do think it is worth noting that, you know, as much as we were talking about in the first stock, Zomba struggling to take MPG stock, Mega Man, he has some really good raw kill moves. Back air is super duper good, forward air is super good, but generally he doesn't have these really strong kill setups as you would see Rob have, and so MPG consistently finding kills is going to be difficult. Again, close to that with the back air there, but at 170%, similar to Zomba, both these two are not, you don't want to see those. You don't want to see those percents.
Yeah, you'd prefer not to have to seal at every stock at 170%, right? But you don't really have a ton of good confirms, and that's what makes MPG such a good player of Mega Man, is he's able to basically freeform create these confirms out of stuff that doesn't quite fit together unless you know the exact percentages and the exact matchups, right? But when you're playing a character like Rob, it's going to be much easier to find those setups, find those kills, and you also have a lot more tools for just getting solid connections and advantage, just like this.
Zomba now in a ledge trap situation, tries to go for the back air to read MPG's up B. A little bit late though. MPG sticking him with the side B is going to delay neutral enough time for him to get back to center stage.
It is interesting to me how little lag this side B for Mega Man has. You can see he's able to use it with pretty much impunity here in neutral, and it's stopping a lot of what Zomba wants to do when he wants to charge up this gyro, when he wants to go for these neutral Bs and catches the jump.
Yeah.
What a snipe.
I was actually about to mention in an earlier part of the game, Zomba basically that entire game only opting to go for the up-angled lasers and really wasn't getting a lot off of them, I felt like, early on. But enough times,
the one time it mattered.
It's going to come through, and Zomba will take game one with the snipe. Yeah, in my experience of watching him, because, you know, being a world warrior myself, I will see, Zomba goes to a lot of the same tournaments that we do, and I think those offstage situations are really where he distinguishes himself as the absolute uncontested best Rob player in the world. The amount of times that he's able to find gyros, able to find ledge slip forward airs, able to find lasers like we saw in that game, it's uncanny. It feels like he's reading your mind. He knows exactly where you want to go, and he's got a hitbox right there, and Rob enables him to do that.
Yeah, he isn't ranked where he is for nothing, right, Casey? He's an extremely solid player. We can see mid-set adaptation, I think, from pretty much everyone here, but the players that get around the most are going to be the ones who have the most time spent having to do that in order to win. Right, and it's going to be about whether MPG has enough gas in the tank to really match Zomba. Now, MPG, no slouch in his own right, still gets around, but probably not quite as much. And the DI there, Casey, a little bit suspect.
It's a tough situation. That was another thing when I got to play against Zomba myself. I don't know what it is about him. I feel like I am consistently not able to DI his up airs better than every other player in the world. Like, it's something about the way that he drifts with the up air just makes it so much more ambiguous. He gets so many kills there than other players.
Yikes.
And also gets kills in those situations. Catches MPG off stage with the down air. Mega Man's up B, a really interesting tool in his kit. We see here using it to great effect in order to push Zomba, but the weakness of it is that it does force your recovery in certain positions to be a little bit more linear. And so it's a very interesting tool, but Zomba able to exploit it, MPG able to use it. We will have to see later in this set who it's going to favor more.
Yeah, a bit of a double-edged sword, and Zomba certainly making MPG recognize that fact. A solid percentage lead alongside the entire stock here for Zomba as MPG trying to find a couple more opportunities to rack up the damage here. He has to avoid taking too much from Zomba before gaining this stock. And I mean, he has to gain the stock in the first place, right? You cannot let Zomba get away with any more than he already has. Already doing a very good job with it, taking the Rob up to 100%. Casey got him on the ledge, but going to be tough to keep him there.
Yeah, for sure. Sticky Bomb going back onto Mega Man here. Tries to catch Zomba with a preemptive forward air. Doesn't have it. Zomba trying to read a full hop. MPG opting this game to stay a lot more grounded. We've kind of seen a flip from the first game where MPG was opting to play a lot more on the platforms and Zomba was staying on the ground trying to get these jumps. It's kind of flipped where MPG very scared of getting called out for his full hops, which Zomba's been making the adaptation for, and Zomba opting to just take the space, go to platforms, use them well if MPG is going to allow him to.
Up throw, not going to get the kill. I think Zomba probably thinking that would hit the platform. Still, though, solid lead here. And you have an entire stock left in the tank. Down air, not going to combo into anything. Up air, almost connecting. Up smash, nope. Oh, the up tilt.
I don't think that's, I didn't realize it was that high a percent. And the down smash is going to take it. Zomba, 2 stock win here.
Yeah, 2 stock win.
To go up 2-0.
2-0. So the next game's going to be a 3 stock then, is what I'm hearing. If we want to keep with the pattern.
It could be.
Yeah,
it could be.
Very well could be. I mean, if you're MPG, you're certainly hoping that's not the case.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely very strong adaptations from Zomba there. Really doing a great job of being very disciplined in terms of his defensive game there, particularly on shield. I think we saw it a lot in the first game. He was getting hit consistently with a lot of pellets, which would shield poke him, and leaf shields, which would MPG would hold, and Zomba would kind of delay in terms of whether he wanted to release it and would end up taking more damage than needed. Zomba in that game a lot more willing to just hold his ground, stay safe, not take the chip hits that were getting him a bunch of damage in the first game, and it translates to a much more dominant win in that game too.
Certainly. Well, here we go. Game number 3, potentially MPG's final game here in the winner's bracket. Can he hang on for just a little bit longer? Well, it's going to be a tough mountain to climb here because that mountain is the monstrously tall figure. Well, not in real life, but in terms of his accomplishments.
Hey, man.
In Zomba.
No disrespect to the man.
It's purely genetic. There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, I'm assuming he's not going to get one of those like leg lengthening surgeries where they shove metal rods in
Listen,
your
if he
legs.
wins this tournament, he might be
maybe he
able
can
to afford it.
Yeah, good point.
MPG with the gyro in his hand, going to cancel the metal blade. Always fun to see matchups with 2 projectile users.
Yes.
I don't think that Rob has a good enough item toss to really utilize metal blade in the same ways that Mega Man can. But we've still seen Zomba opt to catch it a couple times and play around with it. It's always one of, I think that items are some of the most unique, cool interactions in this game. And MPG going to use his up B, sends himself off stage, and unfortunately that's going to be an SP, even though he was up in the game. And Zomba just digging the knife further into him, 34% now here. MPG finding it really hard to have an answer. Zomba, really intelligent gyro placement there, only being a platform away from MPG, so he doesn't have a good lane to get in and hit him, and the damage just keeps racking up.
That's the second SD we've seen this set from MPG. It's just not really characteristic for him. Usually he's very on point with a lot of these technical plays, and you kind of have to be when you're playing a character like Mega Man. But yikes, it is just incredibly difficult to avoid getting exploited for it when you do make those mistakes. And I think you're right when you say that Zomba's just digging the knife in deeper. You can tell that really hurt MPG's mental going into this game.
Ooh, and Zomba unfortunately going to double jump into the up air. Not something that you want to typically do against that. Going to send him into the blast zone, but still with about 140% here on MPG. Down smash going to send the other way. Ledge trap situation. Gyro going to hit the neutral get up.
Good weight there to avoid the down air. Going to turn things around on the ledge here, but I mean, it's going to be a little bit difficult to get a kill here. Rob is not one to just sit in the bottom if he knows a down air is coming.
Yep. MPG now opting to play back. He's down, so Zomba responding with this, I don't need to approach you, you're the one who has to close this 160% gap. But MPG still seems pretty steadfast in it, He's looking for his opportunities. He doesn't want to force anything. I think that idea of trying to be like, I need to get a lot of damage here, I need to get these big openings, I need to be tricky, is probably what's put him in this situation to begin with.
Certainly, definitely slowing things down. That seems to be a pace of the game that's benefiting him, right? It's not playing into
thus far,
Zomba,
yeah.
And I think maybe I'm wrong about this, but at least from what I've seen of Zomba, he tends to be a more kinetic player. Not impatient, but wants the game to run a little faster, right? He's not going to try to time you out.
Well, it's like we were talking about digging in the knife. Zomba's the type of player that when he senses that there's an inch of doubt, an inch of fear in you, then he is just going to try to push that as far as possible.
Blood in the water. He's at 222. Somehow MPG's hung onto this stock way longer than he has any right to, and he's really making Zomba hurt for him.
Yeah,
116.
Now in a ledge trap situation. Gonna opt to play back. I wonder if he could have confirmed that into a back air. Might have been a little bit too far away. F smash almost hits from MPG. But we are now Zomba with 100% lead, but both of them are at kill percent. That is how good MPG has been able to survive on the second stock, and is going to bring it back to now being in a lead for the first time in this game.
Okay. Catches the metal blade. Finally gets the kill there onto MPG. He's been having a much better stock, and now with even stocks, I'm certain that it's going to be quite stressful for both these players coming into things. I think Zomba certainly thought with the lead he had that this was going to be a pretty clean end to the set, but MPG also feeling the pressure here to make this game count and stay in. Real tough when you're at the ledge.
Uses the double jump. Leaf Blade going to do good damage. MPG opting to go for a lot of these downers above the platforms. Downer is actually an incredibly safe move from Mega Man. It's actually plus on shield and can lead into a lot of really strong two-hit conversions. Not going to kill Mega Man pretty heavy, even though I don't think that was the best DI in the world.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what was worrying me, is the DI we've seen from MPG's
incredible gyro toss down. Back air going to be a sour spot.
It's a jump, no down air, doesn't get hit by back air. Careful on the ledge here, and the late hit just keeps getting him. Goodness. MPG has to make it back, and he has to do it now. Still trapped at the ledge here. 142, turns it around. Zomba hanging off the side, gets the nair. MPG fighting for his winner's bracket life here. Gets hit by the metal blade.
He has not been on the stage for more than 5 seconds in the last minute, I swear.
That's it.
And that's going to take it. MPG, a real fight to try and stay in that one. But Zomba will not be denied and will get his way to winner's side grand finals of Smash Valley Last Dance.
Zomba's been tearing through this bracket pretty much. I think the most he's dropped is a single game.
I was going to say, I want to look at see what
certainly
he
not.
Dropped a game to formidable Justin Lombardi.
Yeah.
And that's it. He dropped 1 game to Lombardi out of top 32.
Jeez.
And that's it so far.